Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again on your community station, WYAD 94.1 FM, as well as WYADonline.com, and our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome Mr. Larry Nelson to our program for this next segment. Many people have gotten to know him, of course, as the president of the Victims of Violent Crimes in Mississippi. He's going to be here to talk to you guys, though, about what you need to know about taking care of your health as well. As we're moving into a new year, a lot of people are thinking about their health care and the best place to be able to find affordable deals. We'll talk to Mr. Nelson about the information he's able to share, as well as where you guys can go for more information. Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you very much, Cyrus. Merry Christmas to everyone out there today.
Well, Mr. Nelson, I think, the big thing is, when people know you, they know you because of your work and you're being a person of service. Have you always known that in some capacity that you wanted to be able to serve your community?
Well, I guess I started off at 9 years old chopping cotton, so I guess that's about the way. But over the years, we started in high school as a radio personality. I've done everything at high school in Mount Valley at the age of 16. And then when I moved to Iowa, I was the first individual able to get African-American music on the radio on what they call a country western radio station at that time. And I was sponsored by Jake the Snake in the United States Army. And, I moved into the Illinois market, the Iowa market, the Georgia market, Mississippi. So, I've always been a part of the outreach. Robert Schuler Smith, the Hinds County District Attorney, he and I had a television show where he co-hosted with me called Mississippi Most Wanted. Mm-hmm. So reaching out to the people in the community have always been my heart, and God has given me the ability to do that, and I had to take advantage of it.
And what we're going to be talking about today when it comes to taking care of our health, Mr. Nelson, I think is another avenue of, helping people to look after themselves. I want to talk about, being able to share information, because I think that's a big part of what you've been able to do. What we were talking about as I led off, of course, what you've been able to do with Victims of Violent Crime, that organization, but also now what you're doing today. Do you think that is one of the things that people respect about you, is that they know that you are there to help and to serve?
Well, I would appreciate it, and that's all I have to say about it. Sorry, it's as you get older in life, when you look back, those are the good things that you remember. And I tell my dad used to say all the things, the bad things, nobody ever remembers that. Mm-hmm. But it's the good things that you do in your life that people remember you for. So, and I'm hoping I have many, many applauses when I get before God's kingdom. I'm gonna tell you, my brother.
Well, let's talk about what your focus is on as we're heading into a new year, and that is, I think about health care and about, services for our audience members out there. I think this year with the pandemic, Mr. Nelson has really shown people the importance of taking care of one's health, making sure that we are doing what we can to make sure that we are being taken care of. Talk to us about the work with Singular Care and how you got involved with it.
Well, quite naturally, being out here in the arena, I had some brothers who approached me about this particular company. And so I decided I would look into the suitability of what they're presenting. And I was able to call into my pharmacies and able to talk to people across America about Singular Care. Singular Care is the largest provider of discount prescriptions in America. We're working with 45 different thousand pharmacies that we represent the largest pharmaceutical companies in America. For example, we represent CVS pharmacies. We have CVS pharmacies at Target, Long Drugs, Walmart. We're also dealing with Walmart at our Walmart market, Walgreens, Dual Reed, Albertson, Kroger, Paratitas, Rite Aid, H-E-B, Hy-Vee, Waggaman's. These are just some of the pharmacies that are involved in this network. I got a link yesterday to let me know that we had added 3 more pharmacies. 2 of those are in Florida and 1 is in Georgia. So we're looking forward to working with individuals here in Mississippi to be able to open up, pharmacies, as well as the licensed practitioners to be able to provide these services. Now that we have Singular Care, who's out here to provide you with a card that where you can save up to 80% on all of your prescriptions. Now, when I say all of your prescriptions, here's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up your dental, your visual, your medical, as well as your pet prescription. The cards that we are providing to you, these the people are already ready. They're ready to use, and they never expire. There's no age requirement. There's no income requirement. Every individual is qualified to use this card. Now, right now we have between 100 and between $100 billion to provide to our people to be able to get their prescription filled. I had one lady to tell me that one pill a month, she's a cancer patient, costs her $800. I had another lady to tell me that she had to get a grant. I think it was from Ole Miss or Mississippi State, because her cancer treatment cost her $20,000 a month. These are the problems that our people are having. They can't get their prescription filled. Now, with the singular care card, it varies depending on the medication. But whatever type of savings that we can bring to you, it's well worth it, because that money you can take and do something else with it.
Right.
People are struggling to pay a light bill, water bill, gas bill, don't have gas in their cars because they have to hold that money to get that prescription filled. And if you ever had anyone in the house that's sick, man, boy, that's devastation.
Right.
The whole atmosphere in the household when anyone is sick and can't get their medication.
Yeah.
So this is a service that we're providing to you. It's free. It don't cost you a dime for the cards. And as I say, it never expires.
You know, I have to say, Mr. Nelson, I had never heard of single care before I saw a commercial on television featuring Martin Sheen, which many people know from The West Wing. I was watching, and one of his phrase was "single care this gentleman" and "single care this lady," and I think, you know, for a lot of people that may have been their first time finding out about it, we're going to be sharing the website a little bit later. I want to talk about, for you, I mean, what has it been like for you to hear the response? As you've been telling people about single care, Mr. Nelson, what has it been like for you to see the response to knowing that they can get this free coupon card to be able to use and to save on?
Now, let me do a clarification right there. Now, there's a difference between senior care and singular care.
Okay.
All right? Now, senior care, that's where you have to be a senior citizen. Singular care, we are so defined in this market. There's so much money out here until they don't have the time to spend money advertising. We're going to put these cards in the hands. Most of the discount companies, you have to go online and do an app and do all. No. My poor people, those are the ones we need service to. So we're bringing cards into your community. We're asking our churches, our sororities, our fraternities, our sheriffs, city community leaders, city clerks, get everyone in your city a card. This was actually designed for our senior households. Those individuals who have very little income but have a great output when it comes to difference. Those are the two differences between them. The RX is another provider out there. They have an app set up where you can go online. But these cards here are exclusively for these particular pharmacies, these 45,000 pharmacies in this network. We do have some other companies out there who offer the savings, but the pharmaceutical company, the pharmacies won't take them because they won't pay. So when we put this network together, we knew that our pharmaceutical companies had billions of dollars to put back out there as a part of the settlement. Some action has just been brought against Walmart. I love Walmart. But when it comes to people's lives, there ain't no excuses to be made.
Right.
So we're looking at another $5 to $10 billion from them to be able to look after our citizens. You know, if you create this problem, then you got to help us resolve it.
Gotcha. I'm so glad you mentioned that about there being a difference. And so I'm glad you clarified that up for our audience out there, so they know that it is a difference in what I was talking about in the service here. So So you mentioned about them not doing as much advertising. So is the main way that people are finding out then about it is through word of mouth?
Well, and that's it. And we'll put, because we have to use all of our resources in the community. Mm-hmm. Now, quite naturally, the pandemic kind of, slowed us down a little bit in reference to our gathering.
Sure.
But we have places, like Andrew McQueen and Yeds up in the Florida County Civic Center. We're going to be using the Florida County Civic Center. I'm getting cards out to UPS drivers, AutoZone, Domino Pizza. These are the places, Dollar General. We're just walking in and giving everyone in there a pack of cards and say, hey, pass them out.
Okay.
And then we'll leave a card with them so they'll know where to go. We have a display card that outlines everything that you need to know. We're setting up the full-page booths. I stand in the front of a grocery store with a bullhorn. There's actuality here because once you are involved, and then you had a testimony, you can tell the people, hey, man, it works.
Right.
And that's the best way that we have been able to communicate, particularly in our community, because we are very, very reluctant about health care anyway. We won't even go to the doctor until we have a problem. But now people actually know that this works, man. We send cards up to Chicago. We got our barber shops up there passing cards out as the people come in to get haircuts. My sorority group, my fraternity brothers, they are just stepping up. United Neighbors over in Iowa, the NAACP, Bar Cities, we got supervisors there setting up Martin Luther King centers and places like that, our churches, getting involved to make sure that our people are getting these cards. People get cards and stuff in the mail. They call it junk mail. Mm. So they just throw it away.
Yeah.
But if I sit down and put this card in your hand and tell you, man, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And everyone in the household can use this card. The man standing on the street corner with the beer and the cigarette in his hand every morning because that's what he's addicted to, he can use this card. No restriction.
Yeah.
No requirement. All you got to do is have a prescription.
Wow. Well, I think, look, it's great information. We're going to remind our audience, of course, how they can get more information. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, though, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're speaking with Mr. Larry Nelson, Sr. today. We're talking with him. Many people know him, of course, in the Magnolia State as the president of the Victims of Violent Crimes, but also he's an individual that's helping you now today to know how you can be able to get some help, definitely where you need it, and that is with your prescriptions. I just want to make sure that I heard something correctly, Mr. Nelson, though, as you were talking. Did you also say that this is something they'll be able to use for the COVID-19 vaccine?
That's correct. Now, all vaccine shots are free. Okay? That's your COVID. Now, as you noticed already, CVS Pharmacy and Walgreens have already started marketing their facilities as a site. Now you've got the card in your hand. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say this to you people. Now, I've been getting varied information from those individuals out there. And I'm going to give you all my email address so you can email me for any card that you may need. Now, listen, you're not going to just roll up and roll your sleeve up and get a shot. That ain't going to happen. You got people with too many underlying conditions. Mm-hmm. Diabetes, cancer, pregnant people. It goes on and on. So when your states run out of money, which you're going to run out of money relatively soon, but at some particular point in time, they're going to put a price on these shots now. Don't get me wrong. I already see it happen because that's what's going to save your life. Now, check if the shots are 100, then you're going to pay 20. Right now, the shots are free to everyone. But at some particular point in time, there gets to be a money game here somewhere now.
Right.
So I'm encouraging all of our licensed practitioners to go into your community, find your office, open up. We have grant money out there for you. We have transportation that can bring the patient straight to your door and pick them back up. You've got a prescription card in hand where you can go to one of the designated pharmacies and get your prescription filled for virtually nothing. No one is disqualified for this. My email address is Nelson, Senior, SR, as Larry, @gmail.com. All lower caps or high, it doesn't matter. Nelson, Senior, Larry, @gmail.com. And for those individuals that are living in the rural areas, email, I will drop you some cards in the mail just as soon as I receive.
And I appreciate you being able to share this information, Mr. Nelson. Will you be? This is something I have to ask you because I don't know the answer to it. Will WYAD have cards also in the Yazoo area, or is that something that's being discussed?
They already have cards. Thomas have about 200 cards there. I have 300 more ready for him to get to him.
Okay.
We have provided Jake Sheriff up there with the Sheriff's Department. He has cards already. And most of our frontline, first, you know the word I'm looking for, first responders.
Okay.
Those are individuals we have provided cards to right now. We provided cards to our chief of police in Jackson, throughout the area. They have cards, and not necessarily for them, for the family.
Okay.
Because we don't know what they may take back home. They're the ones on the front line, so we got to look after the kids. When it comes to your flu shot, all vaccinations, whether it's a shingles, whether it's flu, it doesn't matter. All shots are free to you. So now when the pandemic is time here, our kids have to go back to the school. You don't have to worry about that. If your employer mandates that you have to take that coronavirus shot, you don't have to worry about it if you got this card. It's free. And I'm asking all the employees, all the employers and employees, hey, man, get your card. We have gotten cards up to Delta Pride, up in Indianola. We'll just continue to work to try to get cards in the hands of all of the employees. And no employer has told us no, because it's a savings for them. The amount of money that is lost every year due to sickness. And that's because people can't get their prescription filled, man. So we got billions and billions of dollars out here now in the health care service as well as the prevention part. And we're going to have to take advantage of it. Don't die because you didn't pick up a call. Don't do that.
Great information, and we appreciate you being able to share. Again, everyone, Mr. Larry Nelson Sr. has been our guest, talking with you all about some valuable information that can help you as we're going throughout not only, of course, these fall, winter months, but also year-round to be able to help you to be able to save, not only, of course, when it comes to your prescription, but also, as you heard him say, with the upcoming vaccine as well. Mr. Nelson, really appreciate the time today. I appreciate you sharing the information, and looking forward to being on the show again.
I thank you so much, Cyrus. Cyrus, let me share one last thing. I've been hitting on my universities, Valley State, Jackson State, and all of those individuals. We're getting slow responses. So I'm needing my brothers and my sisters to say, hey, look, we got 5,000 cards right now ready for Mississippi Valley State University, 4,000 cards ready for Jackson State. Whoever out there that's a part of a sorority or fraternity that's associated with these schools, please email me. Let me know that you're willing to do the work to get the cards out. We're wanting every household in America to have a card. God bless you all, man, and Merry Christmas. Thank you, my brother.
Hey, thank you, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live.